Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, today we've got a bit of a special, different one, I suppose you could say. We're going to talk about this powder coating oven because it's been in the background in a lot of my videos and a few people have asked me what the hell's going on with it. Looks like the TARDIS from Doctor Who. But I built this just from scratch from a couple of different forums online because I've always wanted to do powder coating and so I've got quite a few photos that we'll go through just showing the process of how I built it. And then I've got some video footage of me doing some powder coating for the first time ever and the results, how it worked out. Obviously the control box here, I made that myself as well. And you know, I've still got a few more little bits and pieces to do to it, but you can see inside it's there's a lot going on. I need to clean all these wires up and make it look a little bit nicer. But that's sort of the gist of it. And so just an interesting one. I actually bought this kit here back in 2011, so I've had it for a while. It's been sitting here and I haven't really had an oven to use it. So it's actually a Columbia Coatings Cool Coat 3.0 unit. And I've got a couple of the hoppers and other bits and pieces and some powders as well. So the idea being I wanted to do, BMX frames, obviously combi, Beetle, all that stuff, suspension parts, wheels, type, whatever you can powder coat. I've had a racing BMX background, hence all these bits and pieces on the walls here. And so I've got a few old Mongoose vintage stuff from the 70s and 80s that I'll restore. And so that's the oven. She's about 1 metre by 1 metre, or 4 feet by 4 feet by 7.5 feet, 2.1 or 2. So she's pretty big. It's got 4 elements in it. And we'll go into a bit more detail. I've just got this door opening like this. And you can see inside. And we've got our that's the tray that comes out here, and you can take the cage in and out. And then the 4 elements at the top, at the bottom. And some lights and a fan and a few other bits and pieces. I ended up using, as a seal here, this is just exhaust wrap for turbos and exhaust headers. And it was just a cheap way to do a seal around it because the actual proper oven seals cost a fortune for us here. So I just, that was a bit of a ghetto setup, but it actually works pretty well just to seal it all up. And then that's an old oven door, which I just jerry built this system here. So you can open it, kept the original seal, and works great. Works really, really well. It obviously holds the heat in, and you can just do your inspection via this, once it's all shut up. So that works pretty good. Just locks in like that, and really happy with it. It's a couple of little mods I've still got to do to it. It gets a little bit hot just around this area here, so I need to bring this up a bit higher and box this section right here. Just seems to get up to about 60 Celsius there, so it gets a little bit hot. This all stays very cool, and the rest of it stays pretty cool too. And the only other thing I've got to do is the fan at the top. I bought a really cheap fan, and it just doesn't blow enough recirculating air inside the oven to keep it the one temperature top to bottom. So I need to buy a better fan which throws a bit more airflow through, which I'm in the process of ordering at the moment. So anyway, what we'll do, we'll just go through some photos of how I put it together, and then we'll just go to a video of me doing the powder coating for the first time. So sit back and enjoy. here we are, and we're just about to do our first powder coating exercise. These are some poles that I'm putting in the ground to make a fence up the front. So they're going to be done in a basalt Colorbond coating. And I've never powder coated before, so this is going to be an experience. I built the oven from scratch, so she's running all good. I've got 4 elements in there. I've had it up to temperature a couple of times. Had to do a few little modifications here and there. I do still need to buy another fan because the inbuilt fan's no good. And yeah, anyway, I've given these a very light, they were galvanised steel, and I've just TIG welded a little tab to them for the palings, and I've given them a very light sandblast, and now I'm just wiping them down with some acetone over there, and we're going to pop them in the oven to sort of preheat the metal up and burn off any impurities, and then we're going to put a zinc primer coating, and then a top coat over that. So we'll see how we go. Like I said, never done it before. I've got my setup over here. That's the Cool Coat Columbia Coatings unit 3.0, and yeah, we'll plug it all in and we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'll keep cleaning these guys, and then we'll pop these guys in the oven. So I'm just setting up the Cool Coat 3.0 powder coating unit, and I've got the fluidisation little unit going down there. Just familiarising myself with the the controls on it. You've got a feed air, and that one there is actually feeding the gun air, and then this one's the dosage or auxiliary. That one's feeding air into the hopper here, and it blows air into the bottom of it and makes the powder all go up into the air, and then it'll come out the tube. So it's all working. And oven at the moment, we are right on about 161 degrees Celsius, so we've got to get up to 220. Got the fan on, turn the lights on, just have a bit of a look inside, make sure you can see there. But I've got the parts in there now, and they're just burning all the oils and impurities off them. So we're on 10 minutes. Yeah, we've still got a little bit to go. Anyway, we'll keep moving. Okay, so we've got these guys out of the oven. They've done their baking procedure just to clean up the metal. They were galvanised, so I just gave them a really light sandblast just to etch the surface. You can sort of see there, it's just got a really light etching on it. So we're going to do a primer, put the primer on them. I've got the gun set up. I'm not sure if it's it's spewing out the powder, but we'll see how we go. First time doing it, so going to make a bit of a mess, but that's all right. I'll just most of it will go in this little tray at the bottom there, and then I'm going to hook up eventually a little thing on the wall there where I can use this little filter system here, and that'll go through a couple of fans just to suck it up. But for now, it doesn't matter for this one. I'm just going to let it go on the ground. I'll vacuum it up, no big deal. It's only a bit of primer. Righto, let's get to it. Okay, update here guys. We are on 17 minutes on the 20-minute timer. We're right around 163 degrees Celsius, but it's actually a little bit out. When I've taken the temperature inside, it's been around 200 Celsius, so we might be a little bit out with the calibration. We'll just have to have a bit of a play around with that. But if I open the door here, you can have a look and see these poles. So they've definitely done their thing. So yeah, happy days. Turn the fan off. A couple more minutes and we'll get these guys out of here. And then we'll move on to these two here, which I haven't done yet. This is, like I said, just the primer, just the zinc coating. And then we're going to actually do the basalt colour, which is same colour as those retaining walls outside there. So yeah, I've swept up a little bit of it didn't actually lose a lot, and it ended up really just, you can see around the area here, it didn't really spill out too much, which I'm kind of stoked about. I'm still trying to work out this guy, the settings. They're a little bit all over the place, just trying to work out, you know, the right amount of dosage. But time will tell. You know, this is just a bit of an experiment. So anyway, we'll pull these out in a minute. Right. Okay. They look pretty good, I tell you. Happy with those. I don't see any runs. Oh, a little bit light in there. You can just see I didn't quite get enough powder in that section, but like I said, you're not even going to see those bits. Yeah. But the rest of it, pretty good. Very uniform. Oh no, there we go. There's a bit of an imperfection there. I'm not sure what that is. Probably too much powder. It was spewing out at one point, so that's okay. Mate, for my first go at it, I'm pretty happy with that. I was expecting it to be a bloody disaster. So yeah, a little bit light in the crack there. Not bad at all. Okay, so what we're going to do, transfer this cage to there. Get you out of the way. Now we're going to take these guys off once they cool down a little bit. Put those ones up here and then give them a coat of primer, and then back in the oven they go. So that is cool. All right, I'll turn you back on. Righto guys, just got them out of the oven, and I might just grab the torch here and have a bit of a look. Yeah, got a nice gloss on it. Yeah, still a little bit. Oh, that's better. That's better. That's better. There we go. So we got in that crack. That's going to be all underground anyway, that bit, but not bad. For my first effort, I'm pretty stoked. That's not bad at all. It's got a good shine to it. Bloody awesome. All right, we've got to get on to the other ones. So they are hot to trot. So we're just going to line this up on here. How did you pop out? That's weird. Up you away. Little dolly works fantastic. So what we're going to do is swap these ones out. Let them cool down a little bit. And we'll put those ones up here, give them a coat in the oven, and we're finished. We've only got the 4 to do, and then we can go and get them concreted in the ground and build the rest of the fence. Pretty cool. Now, Mr. Oven, I think I will set the timer there, and we'll just have to wait till these until they cool down a bit to touch, and then I can get rid of them. Yeah, righto guys, so what I ended up doing for the first powder job is use the fluidisation chamber here, and I did my fence poles, which are going out the front and getting concreted into the ground, and got the powder, ended up getting a basalt Colorbond colour, and got that from Scott up at Oxytech. That's how the box comes from these guys, and the powder's in there. That's the powder there, and fantastic service. Can't thank Scott enough. The stuff was here in a day. I couldn't believe it. Ordered it online from oxytech.com.au, and it was here within a day, which was amazing. So that was the basalt Colorbond colour. It cures 200 degrees at 10 minutes, and it was bang on. Like, for my very first time ever powder coating, I couldn't ask for a better job. I mean, I had no issues with the finish at all. And like I said, a complete hack. Never done this before. You know, I was even reading the instruction manual for this guy while I was doing the powdering. But yeah, that came up fantastic. So yeah, thanks again, Scotty. I'll be definitely ordering some more powders from you guys. So thanks again. All right, guys, we'll move on to the next part of the video. So here's the poles all powder coated. You can see that nice, beautiful finish on there. Like I said, first time ever. Pretty stoked with how they came out. So pole over there, a couple more over there, and yeah, happy days.